Hello everyone, today we're going to play Mega Man 2. Mega Man 2 is the direct sequel of the first game. And out of all the Mega Mans that came out on the original Nintendo, this one is regarded as the most popular out of all 6 of them. And it pretty much repopularized basically this series as a whole, because the first game wasn't a good seller, but the second game that we're about to play today, it was more beginner friendly. Anyway, you see in this version we can play either normal or difficult. Normal is the easier version of the game, and difficult is the original Japanese difficulty. We're playing difficult. And how we're gonna start this off, we can pick either Flashman or Airman. And if you hold B whenever you hold a letter, I think either B or A, whenever you get to the Robot Master screen, you can sometimes have birds on the screen. Flashman stage is basically like Iceman from the first game, whereas the ground is basically like ice, so it's gonna be slippery. That being said, do your best to just get further along in this level. Now, another thing that changed in this game is, as you can see, the replenishment looks different. Every game after this will have the same look when it comes to the replenishments and whatnot. But that being said, get used to seeing this. I would advise you go this way, because if you go this way, it's a lot quicker to avoid all these enemies. This level's pretty short if you go this way instead of actually going the correct path. We cannot deal with those enemies right there because we have no way to hit anything that low to the ground. Now the differences in between this version and the normal is some enemies take more than one hit to actually defeat. Not only that, but Robot Masters take less damage as well. That being said, we can't actually completely take this path. As you can see, we need a weapon for that, and we do not have that weapon. Anyway, what I was trying to do is make this jump right here. I basically off-screen them, and now we can go over here and face the first boss. The first boss we're facing is Flashman. What he likes to do is basically follow where your position is and hug you. You can freeze time and he will try to shoot you. Do your best to avoid him. But if you want to get hit by something when it comes to him, get hit by his projectile, it takes way less damage. There was nothing I could have did there. Because as you can see, when he physically hits us, he actually takes a lot of damage off. I think every time you hit him, he jumps. Unless he's already in midair. I love being stuck in this same spot. When we defeat him, we get the ability to stop time. The thing is, when you use his weapon, you can't switch to anything else. So you're stuck with it until it runs completely out. There's only one boss that's really weak to this, but we will not face that boss yet. I know better than to touch that boss right now. And we get item number 3. Item number 3 is basically, item 1, 2, and 3 are basically the pre-rush items. That being said, we are now gonna show you the password. And now we're gonna start the next level. Now all these levels, the easiest one to take care of is not him, but Airman actually. And as you can see, birds show up. I think you have to hold A and B. Now, there's a famous glitch if you have item number 1 that you can do on Airman stage, but I'm not doing no such glitch, so. I love how I mistimed that jump. Now do your best to platform, because most of the time you die from this stage, you're gonna fall into the sky, bump from the sky into the bottomless pit below. So do your best to not accidentally get hit off or jump at the wrong time and lose a life. Alright. Right now we're waiting for these things to show up and slowly help us get further along in the level. Now this part is kind of tricky because it feels like this jump is a lot further than it is, but it isn't. Now you know how in the first game, when he falls down, he falls like a rock? That doesn't happen here now. They fixed that. And that's the last platform we have to wait for. Now we can continue on. If you don't defeat that egg, a lot of enemies will show up. And they're kind of hard to hit, so I would advise try your best to make shots so you don't have to worry about that. Now the good thing about that is if you have a weapon that can hit them quickly, defeat them quickly, guess what? It's a good way to get some extra lives and health. This is the last screen, I think, before you get to the boss, so I wanted to spawn that in first. I guess we'll just take a hit right quick. Did something just spawn right there for like a brief second? You won't have to see any of this. Be right back. Alright, we're back. That being said, let's continue right and not miss this jump. There's gonna be a bird that spawns soon, that's why I'm waiting. Another one's gonna spawn right here. I'm not trying to... I like how that better HP replenishment just disappears. Find that funny. How it disappears. It normally doesn't disappear like that. But we are now done with the stage. Now, how Airman does is he jumps from side to side after 3 volleys of shooting tornadoes in the air, and sometimes you can't dodge some of them. You can dodge that one. You can dodge that one. You can dodge that one. Now, if you want to know his weakness is Woodman. We don't have Woodman's move, so his weaknesses does not matter. Most of the enemies, most of the bosses can just easily be defeated with the Mega Buster, though. And now we have the air shooter, and not only that, but we also have another item. And the item we get is item number 2. We're gonna need that for Heatman stage. Unless we want to do it the real way. And the real way sucks. Here's the password. And now we have another choice. We can be Crashman. Even though his name's supposed to be Crashman. Crashman. You see, when they translate the games, R's and L's are different, so they decided to put an R instead of an L. So I think his name's supposed to be Flashman normally, but Yeah. Alright. Now, Clash/Crash Man, whichever you prefer to use, that's his name. Stage is mostly a lot of platforming and climbing ladders. And waiting for platforms as well. But since we have item number 2, we don't have to wait as much unless we want to. But I cannot use it right now because these enemies right here are in the way. I love how that looks like a little face. Alright, now we climb this ladder. If we had item number 1, we would be able to get through this a lot faster, but since it's, I can use item number 2 right here. Item number 2 is just a thing that goes real fast from one side to the other, but as you can see, I missed it. Now I have to wait, but I can just reset the screen so I don't have to wait as long. I missed time to jump because of that little thing on the right hand side, on the left side. That's fun. The other thing that sucks about using the item, they don't allow you to actually be able to attack anything. So we literally have to make do with the fact that we can't actually defeat them until we switch items. Now in this game, you can have a total of 4 E-tanks. I'm gonna try my best to hold on to them when we get to a part in the game. Anyway, as I said, a lot of platforming and leveling and climbing ladders. That was pretty short since it's only just mostly platforms you have to wait for and climbing ladders. I think this is the first checkpoint right here. If you take the ladder to the right, I think it takes you to some health if you need some. Them birds are gonna keep spawning every time you go up the screen, so do your best to not take too many hits. There's a health replenishment to our right, but obviously I do not get it. And I basically called that so that bird cannot actually hit us, which is a good thing. I like how it spawned one more time. And going this way gets you an E-tank. Now you may be asking how we're gonna get up there. That way, that's how. It's better to have item number 1 though. Those enemies basically off-screen themselves because they go in too high to the ceiling, and as you can see, they no longer are being seen. Flashman/Crash Man is weak to Airman's move. How he works is he walks back and forth and he only jumps whenever you shoot. So, do your best to time your shot so he doesn't end up jumping into you like he did me. I think most of the enemies here actually are timed by your shots. Or if you get too close to him. But it only takes 3 air shooter shots and he's gone. Now you may be asking, who's weak to Crash Man? Flashman. Yeah. We already beat his weakness. We already beaten who's weak to him. Here's the password. And now we get to do the next stage. You may be asking, what am I gonna do now? I can choose Woodman, Quickman, or Bubbleman. We're going Quickman. Get this stage out of the way. He has one of the better theme song. And because we have item number 3, we can get this extra life, so. Kind of staying a little quiet so you can enjoy the music. Now the gimmick here, you'll see these lasers shooting by. You have to get through these screens fast. Emphasis on the name Quick Man. Taking this path, you get some goodies. Taking the right left path takes you just basically to the next area. Now in this screen, everything gets dark. This level's pretty short. I will not lie, it's pretty short because all you're doing is literally trying to bypass those beams. Those beams are insta-death, so do not touch them. What you could do is use Flashman's move, and it will make it so it freezes the screen, but no, don't do that. That laser usually gets me. For once, it did not. I am surprised. I am very surprised. I am surprised. Okay. I first tried it. Wow. After that, I'm pretty much good. I never really first tried that. But the fact that I did is amazing. Wish I could first try the boss. That won't happen though. As long as we get to that middle screen right here, we're fine. Now Quick Man's weakness is Flashman's move. But here's the thing, Flashman move only does half his HP, no matter which version you use, either normal or difficult. So we have to literally hit him 7 times before we are even able to defeat him. So we're gonna have to hit him 7 times with this. He has 2 things he's immune to. He cannot be hit by Metal Man's move, and he cannot be hit by Wooden Man's move. As you can see, his weapons are quick boomerangs, which I wish they moved as good as they do in here. And since now we have him over below half, Flashman will do the rest. We're already done with this boss, and now we'll be going to Metal Man stage. Yeah. Here's the password. And as I said, Metal Man stage. Metal Man has one of the most broken weapons in this game, probably in Mega Man's history, because it can shoot in 8 directions, and not only that, but there's a little glitch you can do in this game where if you basically throw in enough metal blades but don't use enough to use a replenishment, you basically got infinite metal blades. So I think you can shoot like 7 metal blades or something, however many you can shoot, right before you reset, right before it loses one of the bars. You switch it to a different weapon, it will cause it to never run out, which is funny that it was an oversight. It's faster to just jump here. There's an extra life up there if you want it. And this is the last screen of the level before you get to the boss. These guys, you can just destroy their balls that they're on and make it so you don't have to deal with them, but I didn't do that in time. I think they go by what way your turn from them. Now, that enemy right there I just hit right here, if this was normal difficulty, one shot would have been enough to defeat it, but since this is not normal difficulty, it takes 2 hits to get rid of them. Now this E-Tank comes with a cost. If you don't have item number 3, I'm gonna say 2, you cannot get it. or item number 1. I think you could try to get out of there with item number 1. If you don't have either of those though, you cannot get out of that little area because you can't make that jump. Now, as I said before, his weakness is Quick Man, but he also has another weakness. He's weak to himself. If this was normal difficulty, he would take basically. I love how we both lose, but it still counts as me winning. I've never had that happen. That's the first time I actually lost and won at the same time. Oh my lord, that's the first time. As I said, this is the most broken weapon. And as I said, Metal Man is weak to himself. Here's the password. And who's weak to Metal Man? Bubble Man. Wood Man. Pretty much everybody except for Quick Man. Anyway, we're doing Bubble Man next. You would think, oh, why is the Wood Man not the one that's highly effective towards Bubble Man? I don't know. But as I said, Metal Man's move is the one of the most broken in Mega Man's history. Literally can shoot in all directions. Now how this enemy works is, as long as one of these bras are on the screen, it will not spit out anymore. So try your best to keep one frog on the screen so you don't keep taking hits from the frog. You take too many hits with this. Alright, let's go into the water. Now, there's a little exploit you could try to do. I have never successfully done it. This boy is literally going through this wall. Okay, you're supposed to go through this wall right up there. And for some reason it's supposed to shoot you all the way to the right, but I didn't do it. I didn't go too far to the right. So I don't get it. Anyway, let's continue on. I like how this is the first time we've seen spikes. That was not the case in the first game. We would have been seeing spikes in the first. True. Was there any spikes in Metal? You would think there would be spikes in the Metal Man stage, but no, there wasn't. Imagine if there was not a limit of how many weapons you could have on the screen. I'm trying to get rid of this thing and it won't let me. You may see that I'm wasting a lot of metal blade, but it won't matter. Especially if they gave me that many twos. None of that was health. We are now on the final stretch before we get to the boss. All we have to do is literally avoid these crab enemies. I'll defeat them as we go and we'll be there. Thing is, Bomberman's one of the easier bosses. How easy? All he does is swim up, try his best to avoid things. And that rarely ever hits you. You wouldn't think that something that fast will hit you. I was hoping that I hit him one more time and then I get defeated again. I was expecting the game to tell me game over, not game over, but to restart, but it didn't, which surprised me. Now, you see there are spikes on the ceiling. I don't think I ever got defeated by those spikes. But I don't really ever jump in here. Because there's literally no reason to jump in this level. If there was a reason, then only time if you need to jump is if you don't have Metal Blade. But if you have Metal Blade, then you don't need to jump. Bowman is easy as well, but it's better to have its weakness. Here's the password. And it's quite obvious who Bubble Man's weak, who's on weak to Bubble Man. It's Heat Man. Now, remember all them invisible blocks we saw in the first game? This is the level that has them. There's a big gap that's coming in a few screens where we're gonna have to traverse through a lot of hit invisible blocks. The issue is, at a certain point, it will be above a bottomless pit. So, it will be kinda difficult to get through that normally. If you have item 2, you can just basically breeze through that area. We have item 2, but I'm gonna try my best to not use it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Go. Of course I missed the jump. 1, 2, of course. 1, 2, 3. We're not missing it this time. Now, we have reached the first checkpoint. Only issue I love how that block takes forever to spawn. Now, remember when I mentioned a big gap with invisible blocks? This is the spot. If you don't have these memorized, it's kind of hard for you to get through. And guess what? There's a long stretch of them. 1, 2. I know it's spawning up there, but it doesn't let me stand on there for some reason. They keep liking me to go through it. There. I knew it was coming right there too. I think there's 3 spots where it's like that. Alright, 1, 2. I jumped too early, that's my fault. And I still almost recovered that. You may be asking, why don't you just use item 2? I would like to see if I can get there without it. Why does it spawn like a split second too late after me? What's funny is this always resets just in time. That time I wasn't late. I know it's coming up. Where's it at when it shows up? Is it the one? Okay, so it doesn't fake you out this. Okay. Alright, we'll try again. I was expecting the fake out. It comes later, I guess. There it is. That's the fake out one. I like how I got it first try. That's funny. That guy finally jumped right above me for once. And there's no more enemies, so it's just you and the boss now. So the fake out is right before in the middle, so keep that in your memory banks. He teleports to where you are. And when he does his little thing right, he's doing, the time varies, as you just saw. The last time he came real fast, so we couldn't even try to dodge him. Isn't Heatman the one that gives you item 1? Yes, he is. Here's the password. And now we are going to Woodman. I always end up doing Woodman last for some reason. Everyone just don't know why, but I guess I just prefer him. Now, Woodman has the most weaknesses out of all the bosses. Weak to Metal Man, but he's very weak to Atomic Fire, which is Heatman's move. I don't even like to deal with these kangaroo things. Also, you're gonna see a very annoying mini boss right here. It's the first level that they are introduced. And you get to deal with another one right here. I wish I knew what they were weak to. I think the checkpoint is right after him. So we have to do this level again. As I said, despite the fact that it freezes everything, you can't switch items once you use it. You cannot. You can try. I've tried many times, you can't switch to anything. So once you use Flashman's move, you're stuck. Can't switch. Now the checkpoint is right after that second one, so and there's your first checkpoint. Nope, this one. This is the one that has a checkpoint right after this. I was trying to defeat it in time, but didn't. I think the last one you can actually exploit if you have Metal Blade. Since it can't reach you. This would be the funniest time for me to get some extra lives if y'all give me some. Takes forever to get you to show up. I've never did it like that. Now I know I can do that. Now there's no way for me to do this. But that jump is not high enough. Now what about this? Is there a little exploit here? No. I didn't think so. Just speed run through it. But there's the first checkpoint, but we're gonna see some new enemies soon. Besides the ones we've seen already. New enemies are these little things that'll hang on the bottom of these stick bamboo like things. They only jump up whenever you get close enough. So just do your best to not get hit by them like usual. You don't have to get close enough for them. So they'll hit you. Just make sure you T1. Oh, that was perfect timing right there. Too bad that's not the end of this level. Nope, there's still more. I think we have to climb up on this one part. Nope, not this part. It's the next one in. Or is it climb down? Let's climb down. I like how I'm like 1 pixel away from hitting you. Or like a few pixels. This is the last screen. Now they got these bird things that just run towards you. I don't think you can defeat them. Can you? Oh, you can. But at this point, there's no point. As I said, Heat Man is Wooden Man's weakness. And Heat Man's move is a charge shot. Right back. We're not in the best shape health-wise, but whatever. But yeah, as you can see, Metal Blade is somewhat of his weakness too. It's kind of difficult to try to dodge him, but that's the wrong move. Oh, he's also weak to Airman. What you can do with Airman, you can still hit him through his shield. As you saw. Yeah, he has a lot of weaknesses. And now we're actually at the point where we can face Wily. Here's the password. We have everything. And now we're gonna be on the most catchiest song in this whole entire game. So let us enjoy the music. There's only 2 stages that has this music, so. Alright. Now you know how in the first game you had to do Elec Man stage just to be able to get further in the game, but as you saw, they did their best to make sure you got every item before you face Wily. They made it basically mandatory for the game to give it to you. Whereas in the first game, you had to literally do Elec Man stage just to get the magnet beam, which causes you to make your own platforms. Can I make this jump? Nope. Have to get level 3 and get item 3 just to get up and make this jump. Anyway, we won't really need item 3 for a while, so. Now, we're gonna have to switch to item 1 because it's mandatory. Now, as soon as you spawn on this screen, spawn a platform. It's the easiest way to get up here. They barely made it so you can actually grab that ladder. Now, when we come to this room to our right, the boss that we're gonna face is weak to Quick Man. But the one thing we can do is literally run right and jump. Do not touch him because he is instant kill. you touch them. So, see the screen is scrolling by itself. Sometimes you go faster than the platforms can show up, but whatever you do, do not touch them. And when you're facing them, stand up here. That way, if you ever get knocked back, you can land on a platform behind you. Unfortunately, this level, for some reason, they made it so that the screen keeps flashing every time you hit them. For that, I have to stop showing you the screen. So that's gonna be fun. Because of health and safety violations. Either that or watching in a brightly lit room. Mega Man 2 is not very friendly to your eyes. If you are prone to seizures, look away. Matter of fact, a lot of games from this era was bad for flashing and lock. I guess because they didn't care about health this much. Oh boy. Let's climb back up here. We only have one life left. Thing is, if we lose all our lives and have to redo all of these stages, the E-tanks don't come back into our inventory. Oh no. So, we lose all our E-tanks if we ever lose all our lives. Now let me do my due diligence and not show you any of this, because if I do, you'll hear the game, but you won't see it. I'll see it. Thing is, what he does is he shoots his fireballs as you hit him. Alright, safe to look now. This is the boss that's weak to bubble lead, right? Now, one thing we have to do is literally use item 2. Literally all we have to do. We don't need item 3, just use item 2. Now, I would advise you, take the second ladder, don't take the first one. There's an E-tank waiting for you. Not only that, but there's a lot of replenishment for you as well, and an extra life that we need. Continue on. Not only that, but you could get another E-tank, but I would not advise you to do that. Just hold right, and if you are very low on weapons and stuff, this area right here is the perfect area for you to get your replenishment. The only thing that can defeat him instantly is literally Woodman's move. You can also get some extra lives if you need some. We need item 3 for this spot right here. And whatever you do, do not take a hit from these things. They hurt. They hurt. The chain can even hurt you. The only issue is because they got 2 of those right there, it's kind of hard for you to dodge it. Anyway, let's get Bubble Man's move, because that's what the boss is weak to. Not only that, but we can get that health right there that we need. I don't intend to have to do this boss twice now. If you ask me how this boss is made, or how he spawns, or how it works is, he gets faster with every time you hit, with everyone you defeat. But whatever you do, do not take too many hits. They hurt. These things hurt. Oh boy. think there's one more left. Yep. And as you just saw, things go by fast. And now we get some new tunes. I love how they try to make you waste Crash Man's move, but if you use Crash Man's move well, one boss will be impossible to defeat, so don't use any of Crash Man / Clash Man's move. Only time you see these fish is literally through these big gaps. Alright, time to take a spike fall. Press left when needed. Hold left when needed. Oh, that. Isn't this a spot where one of the replenishments are? I don't think we need item 2. So just get quick man. I love how there's no fast way to get through water. Matter of fact, in Mega Man 1, is Iceman the only stage that you're on? Let me think. There's no water in Cut Man stage, Guts Man stage. Obviously none in Fire Man stage. Wouldn't make sense to put water in a fire stage. I think it is the only stage with water in the whole game. But anyway, continuing on, defeating enemies as we go. Don't lose too much HP now. Is this the boss that no. It's not this boss then. It's the next one. This boss is weak to quick man. If I can jump on your platform, that'd be nice. Oh, I love how I can't show you this one either. At least you get to see the boss. For like 5 seconds. Why did they do this? Why did they make it so it flashes so many times? Isn't there a health punishment to both? Yep. We won't need Bowmans. Oh no, we won't. I think we'll need item 3 this time though. Depends on how good the boss, how well the boss goes. So there's some life over there if we want it. I'm gonna go grab it. Now there will be some areas where there's an invisible block. Like right here. It's right here. It looks like you can stand on there, but you can't. And the only way you can get up there is literally with item number 3. I'm gonna off-screen it quickly so I don't have to lose too much of it. And the ladder that we're currently on is the right ladder to be on. If you want to see why, look at the next screen. There's I'm wrong. There's an invisible platform up there as well. Right here. Love how there's a big invisible platform right there. But yeah, I think that's the only invisible platform up here the whole entire way. So let's do this. You jump right here. And then there's one right here, and that makes you go down. Okay. So it's one right before you get to the ladder. So it's right here and right here. Is there one? Nope, it's not at the far left part. Now there's a The same scenario right here. There's an invisible block here. But as soon as you get past right here, there's an invisible block. And there you go. If you want that E-tank, you can go get it. But I love how that wasted so much. Weapon 3. Love that. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get some weapon, some number 3. Oh, that's not helping. That's not helping my health situation. Let's see. Invisible block is right here. Level 1. There you go. Our first checkpoint of this stage is right here. Matter of fact, I think it's the only checkpoint. And what I like to do is literally have Woodman activated. I don't have to move. Technically, they cannot hit us in this mode. How did I not get hit there? Now the gist of this is you have to get off this platform right here. If you do not, well, that will literally knock you into the spikes below. This next screen, we have to wait. No matter what, we have to wait. Now we jump down and just basically get this activated. The good thing is not that many things are weak to him, so the bad thing is we can't switch weapons until we shoot it. The shooty zone leaves out. And I like how nothing showed up. There's a little exploit you can do. Okay, stay away from that platform. You can do that. Do I have to do that jump? Yeah, you can just do that now. And then you'll fall down from doing that. Found that out a few years ago, and I'm like, well, that's smart. Never thought I could. Never thought you could do that. Those things are very weak to Quick Man's move. As you just saw, I barely did anything, and it's gone. Now, you know why we were keeping Crash Man's move? This is the screen. These enemies here cannot be defeated without using Crash Man's move. The reason why I was doing that is because you can avoid these enemies if you do it that way. There is no fathomable way we can get out of here without level 3. So I think I soft locked myself. So instead of me having to redo everything else, oh no, we're not doing that. So literally, before we even defeat this one, we have to. Well, technically I can use Crash Man's move, but no. Can level 1 fit right here? Okay. Wouldn't make sense. Couldn't. I gotta sneeze. Don't you love it when you have to sneeze but it doesn't come out? Love that. Now if your aim is precise, you can technically not have to waste one of these crash bombs. Alright, Meg. I like how there's 2 bosses in this game that literally revolve around one specific move. That's an exploit I will do. The only issue is, do I have 3 crash bombs? No, that's 2. That's 2. Oh boy, that's 2. I only have 2. Okay. Now you see why I wanted. Now you see why I wanted to have level 3. Okay. I think it's just wise to just take the game over. I'll see you when I get back to that boss. My health situation ain't much better, but whatever. Now, what I was telling you about is there's a way you can keep 1 crash man's ammo. Weird how you have to do it, but it's possible. Only thing I'm doing is trying to dodge this. That's the only reason why I do that. I jumped. I don't know why you didn't move. Besides that, it's kind of harder to actually dodge any of this. Legitimately. No, I don't need 3 to get to the crash man. Switch to level 3. Wait. Let them shoot their shots. Go. Now what you have to do is a weird little jump trick shot. The only issue is hitting the one that's above us. See, I only got 1 left. So I literally have 1 chance to actually hit this thing. Thing is, there's a weird jump here that you can barely make. It's possible. That's not where I need it. It's right here. This boss sucks. And it sucks for the wrong reason. Let's program a boss where you can only hit it with 1 thing. And the 1 thing costs so much energy, is like detrimental. And now we're doing the boss rematches. Alright, Bubble Man. Now starting from this game onward, every boss rematch gives you health back. Your guess is as good as mine as to why they didn't just do that in the first game, but yeah. Adds to the game's difficulty, I guess. Now, as I said, his weakness is Woodman. But like I said, it's kind of hard to hit him. Ain't it funny how he's weak to Woodman, and Woodman's weak to him? You telling me that didn't... Wow. You have to hit him 4 times with this? Wow, you learned something new. You have to hit him 4 times with this. No wonder no one uses this. To be fair, to face him with this is horrible. I like how I immediately teleport. I'm not wasting, well, Airman doesn't cost much, so I could literally just... Crash Man? Nope, Bubble Man. Now, I like how this rematch arena is a lot easier considering the fact that there's no spikes above us. I'm not worried about him actually touching us, so... Quick Man? Yep. Now this boss is made easier since it's literally a flat surface now. I like how his projectiles disappear too. Good touch. Wait, it left with one? How? Oh, because it defeated him before you could nothing. But yeah, you can't switch until it does that. I'm trying to shoot him, but my thing wasn't shooting out for some reason. Alright, next boss. Metal Man. And as I said, he's weak to Quick Boomerang and himself. It only takes 2 hits to defeat himself. Yeah. Alright, so if that's everybody, the only one left is Flashman, and his weakness is Crashman, and we don't have any Crash bullets, so... He doesn't even get hit with his weakness. But the boss is so criminally easy, it's sad. Alright, this is Wily. I forgot what he's weak to. It's not weak to that. It's not weak to that. What are you weak to? I guess we're doing this normally. But I don't know. And as you can see, actually physically touching that thing destroys our HP. It's gonna be fun. So basically, when he gets to the left side of the left wall, the flashing ain't as bad, so I can show this. Now, if I had some Flashman, not Flashman, Quickman, not Quickman either. They're both wrong. It's dang near impossible to dodge those. But I meant to say, if I had Crashman slash Clashman's move, guess what? He's weak to that. Issue is, I don't have that. As soon as you get done with that boss, you lose all of it, so. I know you're not weak to Metal Man. I wish you were. Seriously, how you expect someone to dodge those little balls? Anyway, right back. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that he's weak to Crash Man, so... Yeah, but it's not even worth using against him, as you can see. You will have to literally waste all of it just to be able to defeat him. Anyway, we're back at Wily. Full set of health. Everybody's defeated. Can't wait to do 2 shots every time I jump. Now these are more dodgeable than the second part. Alright. Now the reason why I say I would rather have Crash Man's move here is because if you aim at the right spot, right where I shot, it will just explode him. Now, we're on the last stretch, the last boss area. Let me tell you about it. He only has one weakness, and his weakness is Bubble Man's move. Here's the kicker. If you get hit by him, get hit by the projectile, do not touch the boss. Because the boss will basically take all your health. So whatever you do when you're in this boss, do not touch it. How he moves is in a figure 8 infinity symbol. So basically, he basically moves in like an infinity symbol. In an infinity symbol. He goes from right to left, right to left. Or is it left to right? All I know is he's weak to Bubble Man, and we have to hit him 28 times, I think. So with that being said, do your best to not get hit by him. Your invisibility frames will be your best friend here. I have no E-Tank, so I'm literally doing this with one health bar. Now, if you run out of bubble egg, guess what? You gotta get a game over. That's how that works. Yeah, they have 2 bosses they programmed in this game where they only have 1 weakness. And these things can destroy you too. But I'm low on the bubble egg, so I don't think I'll be able to beat them. So I have to just take the L. The good thing is this is the last boss. The bad thing is he's only weak to Bubble Man. We had to use Bubble Man on the first boss, the Heat Man boss, so they didn't do a good job when it comes to that. They didn't give you no way to replenish your weapon energy. Now imagine if you were experimenting trying to figure out what he's weak to. He won't get hit by anything but this. So yeah. Before I do the final blow, I have to stop before it flashes inconsiderably a lot. Like I said, if you ever get hit by him, get hit by the projectile. Do not get hit by this thing. I think the projectile does 4 damage to you. Not sure how much exactly. I'm doing everything to make sure he doesn't hit me. Now, before I deal the final blow, I have to stop this now. Oh boy. Do I defeat it, or do I still have to do this again? Alright, we're done. If you would have saw how much flashing that was, if you saw my original video, you will know how much it flashes. But we're done with Mega Man 2. One thing left is literally the end of this game. And the end credits. Alright, that's the end of this episode. Next time will be Mega Man 3. That being said, if you press start, you can go back to the title screen and you replay the whole game again. That being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you have a wonderful day or night. Goodbye, and most of all, take care.